The Bright Future Scholarship Fund has given $4.2 billion to 650,000 students in Florida, but recent modifications might change those numbers. Out of high school, Odalis Cruz was told she'd earned funding from the Bright Future Scholarship Fund. Her grades and test scores in high school qualified her as a Florida Medallion Scholar, which was said to pay 100% of her tuition to a Florida university.
Well, I had a sister who she went to university before me, so she went to a local college actually, and her tuition wasn't paid in full by Bright Futures. So I knew that my tuition would not be covered because I was going to university, which has the tuition credit is more expensive.
Even knowing how the system worked, Cruz was still a bit disappointed and had to get a job with ABC Research Laboratories to cover her expenses.
The first year I was here, my Bright Futures covered about 75% of my tuition. By second year, it had dropped already down to 50%, and then after that, it covered even less than half of my tuition.
Bill Hancock, the Gainesville district manager for the Florida Lottery, says he's seen ticket sales going up.
Sales with the Florida Lottery has had a wonderful trend, especially over the last 11 years, where we've seen increases, and we've put over $1 billion each year into the Educational Enhancement Trust Fund, which part of that money funds Bright Futures.
28% of Florida Lottery ticket sales go to education. That's where the Bright Futures funding comes from. But if they're seeing an upward trend in ticket sales, why are Bright Futures scholars having to pay more out of pocket? Looking at the history of Bright Futures, we can see the disbursement amounts decreasing 18% faster than the number of students receiving the scholarship. This is because the budget isn't enough to keep up with the demands of the scholars. Donna Kolb at the UF Office of Financial Affairs has seen the number of students receiving the scholarship decrease.
And I was thinking, well, it's increased, incrementally, so there have been medallion kids that have been dropping off over the years.
Even though current students are not receiving near the full amount they expected, a bill in the Florida Senate has been introduced proposing they lower the Florida Medallion Award qualifications.
If they lowered the requirements even more, then more people would be qualifying, and more qualifying students means less money per student.
The bill was introduced March 4th, but we'll have to wait till the session ends May 2nd to see if it passed. Denise Toledo, WUFT News.